everyone. We are back with a very special edition, as if every other edition isn't, but this particular one. We have two first-time podcast guests.
Yay.
One who I get to call a friend, a dear friend, and incredible marketer, founder, extraordinaire.
It's so hard to listen to nice things. You're like...
Yeah, you're like, just say thank you.
Thanks.
Exactly.
Founder of Made Coffee and marketing genius behind Mother Kombucha.
Yes.
Miss Taylor Prater.
Hello.
Yes.
Hi.
Welcome.
Happy to be here.
Yeah. And our newest addition to the team, Miss Jackie Blaze, who's our newest growth manager.
Yes.
All here on
Honored
the podcast
for it to be our
today.
first
I know.
time.
I can't believe it.
Yes.
It's amazing.
And then, of course, Walter here, who's an
The
old
most
hat.
important.
Yeah.
The most important.
Pretty much the most experienced.
Very
of us all.
excited.
Very
to be here.
excited. Yes, he is super
Thrilled.
jazzed.
Yes.
Yeah, thrilled.
To be on today.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so, 21 minutes we've got. It's never enough time. I'm going to get right into it.
Yeah, we've already been yapping.
We've been yapping,
we've already been
yes.
yapping.
It could continue for a lot longer
Yes.
than we have today.
Yeah.
But for the people, the storylines
Yeah.
that we're going to dive into, I'm pretty stoked.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
So, kick us off, and we're going to talk about all the different, various brands you've worked with and your experiences.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, today, latest and greatest, Mother Kombucha.
Yes.
And
My love.
I feel like, okay, I was telling somebody, I think it might have been my dad, interestingly enough, that you were coming.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, I don't know what kombucha is.
Oh, yeah.
Now, he's
That's
not,
the question.
he rides a Harley, like he's not your demo. So not to be expected.
Right.
However, how would you describe kombucha to somebody who's never had it?
So if I was talking, I changed it a little bit, but if I was talking to your dad,
Yes.
I would say it's a delicious sparkling beverage that just happens to be good for your gut.
Love that.
Yeah. So
Okay.
some people ask deeper questions, and sometimes I'll say it's fermented, depending on who I'm talking to, right? But sometimes that scares people, so I'll leave it out, right? But it is a fermented beverage, and it has probiotics and B vitamins that are excellent for your gut. Yeah, I drink one every day.
Okay, you heard it here first.
Yeah,
And you brought us some delicious flavors.
Yeah, so I brought you guys the Kombucha, which is our newest product line, and it is a kombucha-infused sparkling water. And it is absolutely delicious. We call it like our gateway to gut health because I know, like, not officially, but I call it that. So yeah, we call it that sometimes in our marketing. But people can be polarized by kombucha because they've had a bad experience. It tastes too vinegary, which ours is not. It's very delicate. But the kombucha-infused sparkling water is so nice because it just tastes like sparkling water. Yeah. And it's not living like kombucha is, so some people are more comfortable with that. But it has B vitamins and organic acids that are really good for your gut. So
Love that.
a lot of the same benefits. Yeah, it's very good. I can't wait for you guys to try it.
So I feel like very forward-thinking product, arguably early to market.
Yeah, Mother Kombucha, for sure. Yeah,
Yes.
she started it. I mean, she's been in business now 12 years. So
That's incredible.
really at the start of it, they were educating a lot. I mean, we're still educating, but really back then, very much educating. It was more so like a hippie beverage, right? And now it's like become more mainstream, which is great, right? As people get healthier and want more healthy beverages.
Yeah, I feel like now more than ever, people are focused on ingredients, what's good for your health, wellness,
they want
gut health specifically.
Yeah, and I think people want whatever they're putting in their bodies to do extra things for them. Like, we're all so busy, right? So it's like, okay, everybody should drink water, but like if I'm going to drink something that's tasty or sparkling, like what else can it do for me?
Agreed.
Yeah.
Great point.
Yeah.
Take us back, though, because we started Presente.
Yes.
And I know you've had lots of experiences in beverage land.
I love it.
All the way back to, like, mixing cocktails.
Yes.
And
which I miss so much. Yeah. I couldn't do it now. I don't think the hours, but I miss it.
It would be like a funsy experiment.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes I daydream about
like, why
being a
not?
barista
Yes.
and, like, chat people up.
I know.
Kind of what we're doing right now, actually.
Yeah, it is. I know you've created your own barista.
Yeah, I did. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I hadn't really considered that.
Yeah.
But take us through, like, kind of the progression. I mean, how, correct me if I'm wrong here, when you developed Made Coffee, one of the first canned coffees.
Yes.
Because that was your baby.
It was my baby, yeah. Yeah.
Where did the idea come from? What was the inspiration? How did you make the jump?
I know, I haven't talked about this in so long. Okay, So Made came from, I was a bartender for a very long time. I actually think I was still bartending a little bit when we created Made, but I was working for a liquor company called William Grant and Sons. So I was representing like Hendrix and Sailor Jerry and Tullamore Dew and Glenfiddich and Balvenie and a bunch of brands under their umbrella. I was doing their marketing for Florida. And a friend of mine that I was working at the bar with came and said, I have this, idea for coffee and all of these things. And at the time I was like, oh, you can be one of my clients,
I love it.
Yeah, I was like, you can be one of my clients and I'll do some marketing. And then it just went so far past that. I ended up leaving the company that I was working for, even though it was an incredible job. I had so much fun. But yeah, we just kind of like dove in. And that was like cold coffee and kegs was our thing then, because Florida, you want it to be cold. Starbucks did not have cold brew or anything yet. We were really educating on what actually cold brew was. And then a couple companies, maybe 2 in the United States, were canning their coffee. So we brought on a third partner who suggested like, oh, this is really cool. And I was really into, it was called Stumptown. They still exist. Yeah. They're on the West Coast. I was really into that. So I was like, this is fantastic. Let's do it. And it just kind of like took off from there. Yeah, we bought a canning line, got a little facility. It's now Beach Town Yoga in St. Pete, which is really cute.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that was the old maid. Yeah, and I know her. She's very sweet.
Yeah.
So it's really cool that that's what that is. But that's where we started, and it was very cool, very fun, very exciting to do because nobody existed.
Yeah,
exactly. In Florida at least.
What was the biggest challenge launching your own brand, CPG especially? You don't know the industry.
No.
You're coming out of this lens of just serving and marketing and now you're in production and distribution and branding.
A lot of what I learned at William Grant really helped because we were executing these like large scale events for the different brands and they all had their own really unique brand story. So, and I had been working with like promo models and like executing these events and kind of like seeing how that industry worked. And then I was also on the sales side a little bit. So I kind of understood some of the selling techniques. So we just said, we didn't really know CPG yet. I could be wrong about this, but nobody was really doing these like huge things except for the big brands. Yeah. The smaller local brands, it wasn't a thing like it is now. And I was like, let's just apply all of the liquor industry learnings to this. And we did. We treated it like a liquor company. We made cocktails out of the coffee, like espresso martinis. And I was kind of still working for William Grant, and they were very supportive of donating product.
That's helpful.
So, and we would bring in like all the bartenders that we knew and have them create their own cocktails and do all that. Nobody was doing that with coffee then. Yeah. So we were just able to kind of like make a splash, But what did you ask? You asked most challenging. We had to get infrastructure. So a lot of brands will start and they'll use a co-manufacturer. We decided to do all the production in-house, which is like kind of insane, but a lot of brands do it. So we had to buy, a canning line and all the brewing equipment. So you need capital. So getting investors and convincing them that this is cool and might actually succeed. There was a lot of hype around it and we were really fun then. So that part of like trying to convince people was nice, because it was new and exciting and but getting capital, getting infrastructure, trying to figure all of that out.
Right.
And then also, we were talking about cold calling earlier a little bit. Oh, yeah. I was just bringing these little cans of coffee into like all of our local shops and being like, hi. This is what I have. And it's not only coffee, but it's cold. It's in a can and there is no flavoring to it. It's also black coffee because that's what my partners and I believed in. We thought it was the best. And we used really good coffee too. Actually, it was the Lab coffee at the time. Yeah, it was their roastery. It was theirs.
Right.
Way
For all
way
back. People, yes,
yeah,
the Lab.
way back.
Okay.
So yeah.
What's a story about Made that you wish you were able to tell, but never really made it into the light?
Oh man.
I'm totally going off script here.
Yeah.
Sorry for your
there's like good and bad things, right? I don't know. It's really hard, right? And it's hard when you have a lot of partners to manage like all those different personalities. So I don't know if there's like one specific story because we were honestly like through our Instagram and everything, we were like open books, right? Through like the journey and all. But I guess it's just like how hard it is to do that. But also how in St. Pete and Tampa, for sure, are so supportive. The entrepreneur community in St. Pete and Tampa is like, to me, unmatched. So we got a lot of support that way. But it's really hard to be like a new brand and try to figure it out. And okay, here's one. I have one. I don't know if I should say this, but I do have one. Okay, and so a couple people do know this story because it's like embarrassing. But we went. Okay, so I know we also have to we had to figure out distribution. And I had like a saint of a Publix buyer because we got into Publix very quickly, and he kind of like taught me what all kinds of things were, like a G10 and like how to case pack your product and like all of these things, right? I mean, I used to deliver to Publix in the morning at like 4 a.m., like drive my little delivery van and like stock the shelves. So we also, once we succeeded a bit in Publix, we got statewide distribution. So at that point, you're scheduling trucks to come to the warehouse and picking up like pallets of product, right? But you also have this think about how much goes into these retailers every day. It's very like strict. So there's forms that you fill out, and it's all very strict, and you have to be very diligent about it.
There's a system and a process.
There's a system, and we had a driver who's fantastic, and all good things. But they're like at the gate, they are like, this, you need this, and it is like clockwork, and these are the things you need. I had put like the wrong. And then I was actually at an event because I did all of the things, as you do. So I was in an event like Tampa Bay Beer Week. So I'm around, like everybody's drinking beer, having a good time. I have my little coffee cart, and I get a call, and the driver's like, they won't let me in. And this is like an insane truckload of product. Yes. All the stores would have been out. It would have been a disaster if they hadn't. And he's like, they won't let me in. And I'm like, in my car, I left my coffee cart in my car, crouched down on the phone, and I'm like, give him the phone.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know, like you have to give him the phone.
Yeah, right.
He gives the gatekeeper, whoever this is. Yes. I never really saw them because I didn't drive like a big, LTL truck, right? A big rig. So he gets on the phone, and I somehow, it took me like 10 minutes of crying. Yeah. I just let it, I was like, whatever, like we're gonna cry. This is a good instance to cry. I convinced him to let my driver in. I was like, I will literally do this on my phone. I put like the wrong PO number, like whatever it was. Something so stupid, one number off, but like, anyway, I begged. And begged. And anyway, that was basically how my life was for like 7 years.
Honestly, I feel like this is a founder story through and through. 100%. Yeah. Figuring it out on the fly.
And then also people that have a heart and grace that are like, okay, I can tell that like this instance, like we need to help you out.
Yeah.
I feel like something that appears in your story time and time again is what's the Wayne Gretzky quote? Like, you're the puck there before... Oh. I'm messing this up. But you're on the cutting edge. Yeah. You're on the cutting edge. Like, you're to the idea of where things are headed before the industry figures it out and gets there.
It's going to be hard.
So hard. I mean, to see, like, what's cool and where things are headed and what consumers want and really how to tell the brand's story that way. And then you are able to cultivate this community and like advocacy and loyalty around that, which is so difficult.
It is so difficult to try to get your message out, especially like today, right? When there's so much going on and people are just like all the time,
Zero attention span.
And everybody's like that. I'm not knocking other people because I think we're all that at this point,
guilty,
right?
100%. Yeah. But I think you've been able to really like create messages and brands that cut through the noise.
Thank you. Yes. That's very nice. Thank you.
What would you point to? What's the secret sauce here? What do you think is...
I don't know. I think that I genuinely like love brands. I'm constantly on looking at like, I love watching what people are doing around the world. I'm constantly on like looking for things, and I get really intrigued by things that I haven't seen before. So, like, Hendrix is a perfect example because I did work for them, but when I was bartending, I was like, what is that? I, looked, and it wasn't even, like, popular yet. I was like, what is that? And I, developed this lifelong love for Hendrix. I still love it. But I, kind of dove into it, and I was like, okay, now I like gin, but I like Hendrix gin. But, what is this about? And looked at the brand story. Incredible. They're one of the best. Yeah. So I think and I saw, maybe I was 23 when I found that. And then I looked into the guy who created it and all this. So I just really like finding new things, personally, and then I was like, I'm going to work for them one day. And then I did, which was great. But they really do have the best. They have the best marketing, best story. It's so unique. Yeah. Especially back then. Nobody was really doing it.
Right.
As you, off script, but as you are cutting through all this noise, how did you deal with, like, imposter syndrome? And is that something that you feel like you still kind of run into?
I feel like everybody deals with it. I really do. You just have to be, like, confident in yourself. And, like, also, nobody has all the answers. I think people can talk a really good game, which is something I had to learn, especially when I was younger. I would always listen to, like, whoever, my investors, my partners, and I was like, oh, they must know more than I do. But, like, they don't, you know? You just need to be confident as much as you can. I mean, I think everybody suffers from imposter syndrome a little bit, but you just, you know, your gut will tell you, like, what's right. And you just, I feel like you just can't think about that kind of stuff. You're like, if I want to do this, like, I have every right to. You know, everybody else, I mean.
I like that.
Yeah, you have every right to.
First to market, right? Like, what you're doing, in a lot of ways, hadn't been done before.
Exactly,
So
that's true.
How can you take the advice of someone who's only done one thing over and over?
I wish I knew exactly what you just said. I wish when I was 30, I was like, yes, that. It just took me a couple years to figure out and experience. Yes.
Take this piece of advice, run with it.
Trust your gut. I think a lot of things would be different if I had known that younger, but you don't, so it's like, okay. I also like to change careers all the time, so I'm also just like, if I want to do this, it's okay. Like, I can.
Well, you're a builder. You've been able to build brands, build stories.
And I'm genuinely interested in so many different things. So I don't think it's good. And I don't think I could operate being, like, pigeonholed into one thing either. I think I've always done a lot of different stuff. Even when I was, like, bartending before I got, you know, like, professional jobs, I was always, like, bartending for this and doing this and doing this and wanted, like, a bunch of different things. So
we have so many questions, and we've just been, like, chit-chatting it up. I'm like, I'm pretty sure we've got some interesting ones in here. Okay, let me ask you this. Because you've been in CPG and you've been in beverage for so long, where do you think things are going? Like, what excites you most about sort of the next season or the next era of what you're seeing?
I think there's so many products that are coming to market, which can be a good thing and a bad thing, right? People are doing, like, crazy things with I pay a lot of attention to beverage, right? I mean, any type of like, supplement or, like, plant that you can put into a beverage. And they're also, I think, because the competition's tight now, you know, like, the lens is on beverage, right? So people are just doing really unique things. We used to do, and I haven't been to one in, like, a year or two, but I would do those big expos, and you're just, like, filling your bag. Like, let me try this. And people are so excited. Everybody's just, I feel like, to imposter syndrome, people, I think, are being like, oh, I can do this now. Like, whatever they were doing with their careers before, they're like, no, I've been making this since I was a kid, or my grandma used to make this, or my mom used to make this. And they're like, you know what? There's, like, a path now for people to do it, which is really cool.
I feel like it's less intimidating because we have access, like we never did. To people and brands and behind the scenes.
That can talk about it. And exactly.
Right. It's
or
like
mentor you and help.
Breaking the barrier. Whereas before, you know, you're leaning into the old hats of the folks you think are the most experienced in the room.
Investors
and
really, or whatever.
They don't see your vision necessarily.
Exactly. It's true. And I hope, because it's so stressful, right, to start a brand, I hope people are starting to have a little bit more fun with it, too. Like, you don't have to follow what, like, the Pepsi and the Coca-Colas do. You can just do whatever you want.
I feel like that's part of the beauty of it, too, of, like, how there are more products where it is making those big brands push their limits out of the box.
It's really true.
A little bit more.
Or they, like, copy what the little guy does.
Yes.
Which is, like, there's that as well. A whole other thing, but,
Well, you have more space to try. Whereas the bigger you get, the riskier it is.
It's really risky.
You have to lose.
Yeah, for sure. But I think just, like, the uniqueness, right? And, like, the diversity of the brands is great to see. And it's just, it's really fun. It's a really fun industry. There's large-scale organizations now that support, right? That support founders and do all these really cool things and give them, like, a space to talk about their brands. And it's really fun.
Knowing what you know now.
It's a loaded question already.
What would you have told yourself? Like, what would you have done differently given the chance to do?
I really think it goes back to, like, the trusting your gut. I really do. Because I second guessed myself a lot then and did listen to a lot of other people. And I really think there's goals that I had for the brand then that would have been realized if I kind of just stepped in, and not in like a combative way, but just said like, I don't know if that's the right move. Let's talk about it a little bit more, instead of being like, oh man, I guess I don't really know anything about that, so I'll just let that happen. Like I was always very vocal when it came to like marketing and advertising, right? Or like the way I wanted the brand to look. But I think there was some things as far as like scaling and production and things like that where I could have been like, hey, let's just maybe take a step back and see like what we actually want to do and what our goals are. Yeah.
Do you think that's also affected what consumers expect from a brand too?
Yes, for sure.
How have you seen that?
Especially because there's so many brands out there. I think that, I mean, when I was 30, right? Not that I'm that much older than
I was
now,
just
but
like,
yeah.
3 seconds ago.
Yeah, 3 seconds ago. But, you know, like we were talking about, there was all these, you know, all the brands you saw, there was no small brand, there was no local, there was no unique. It was like these brands on the shelf, right? Yes. And they could do whatever they wanted. Now with the transparency through like social media and just like founders and people with the brand coming out and talking about and showing processes, I think consumers have become like super used to that. And they're like, all right, show me what's in it.
Almost expect it.
Expect it. And they should. Like, you're putting it into your body. You should expect it for transparency, right? So I definitely think that's been a big change, which I fully support.
Yeah.
And I will also only work with brands that are transparent about it.
Well, I think one of the things that Mother does well, it's never enough time.
It's never enough.
Is to declare.
That was 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Not even.
Truly. I'm going to wrap this up. But.
Okay.
Is to declare their ethos.
Yes.
And vocalize that. Yeah. And I think they do a really nice job.
Yeah, I do too. Even before me too. That's all Tanya and like how she like conducts her whole life, you know, so I really respect that 100%. As well.
Yeah. And I think the consumer now more than ever
I do too.
Wants to see that too.
I think it's so important.
Like stand for something.
Stand for something. And that's what attracted me to working with her too. Like we've been friends for a long time, but I always kind of, when I was building my brand and doing other things, I was like watching her and she was like my North Star. You know, I was like, that's exactly, like if you're going to have, and I always said that too, especially when I was leaving Made, I was like, if you're going to have a business, you have to use it for good things and to like express your values, you know, use it as an extension of that, which I really think Mother does a great job of.
I think that's why it still stands on its brand.
100%. Yeah, I think so too.
Okay, we have rapid fire questions.
Here we are.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm going to buzz through these. Okay. Walter's ready.
Walter is ready.
He stood up for
Walter, answer for me if I don't get one.
Yeah. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
First drink you ever crafted that made you think, I'm really good at this.
Oh my God. I have made so many damn martinis because I worked at Blue Martini when I was like coming up, and that's how I like learned to bartend. Mm-hmm. So I don't have a specific one, but making those little martinis and like those silver shakers is like not for the weak.
No.
Mm-hmm. And it wasn't like a drink. It was more so like I loved being behind the bar. I just loved it. And I loved being busy and like if I was like 4 deep, I was like, here I can get all the, you know, pouring shots for people. Uh-huh. Yeah, I just thought it was fun. I just always had so much fun, yeah.
What's your go-to snack with kombucha?
Pickles.
Pickles.
I am obsessed with like dill.
Yeah.
I have a pickle tattoo on my arm. Love. I am obsessed. I love like that like vinegar flavor, you know? So I love a pickle. And I think pickle and kombucha is fantastic. Okay. I'm also not much of a snacker, so pickles. Yeah.
I'll have to try this.
Yes.
I'll get back to you.
Do it. Yeah.
The most Florida thing about launching beverages here.
You sweat. You're like constantly. I know it's like kind of gross, but
it's real.
So especially like for the ones that I have been a part of, like you're constantly loading cases in your car. You're working markets and events where you're just like loading and unloading. Yes. Cases are going in. It's hot. Like everybody's fainting because you know what I mean? Like remember when the markets were all summer? They hadn't stopped them yet, and people would like faint at the market. Yeah. I'm gonna say it's hot.
And you're a tiny little thing, so loading and unloading,
I used to carry kegs around. Like, how did I do that? I don't know. I don't know. Different time.
Yeah. Beverage you always order when you want to judge a place.
Oh, a gin martini. Yeah. My husband will literally text me if he's out without me, and he's like, how do you order that martini? Yeah.
I love those.
Yeah. And I love them. They don't love me back all the time, but I do love them very much.
Yeah, limits. What's your dream collab?
Oh my gosh. Well, right now I'm like, I love to travel and I constantly just want to be gone and doing things. So maybe like Mother Kombucha in Hotels Above Par or something, you know, or just like one of those, or like some sort of like travel brand where you go around the world with like your kombucha, or you find kombucha in other places, but like it's sponsored by Mother.
I like that.
Kombucha around the world. Something that like puts travel, yeah.
Okay, we'll make your plug here.
Okay,
I like it.
love that.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so Intrepid Travel, Condé Nast,
now that we're
Hotels Above Par, like any of them. Yeah, now that we're pitching.
I love this.
Yeah,
okay, kombucha flavor you'd launch if no one could veto it.
Matcha kombucha.
Okay.
Yeah. We actually talked about this the other day. Tanya and I did, and she's not a huge matcha fan, but I really love it. But we were kind of like, I don't know, it might work. Yeah. Because we make mocktails all the time, or zero proof cocktails. Mm-hmm. So I had done a matcha with Tabella Matcha. Yes. I also do a lot of their marketing. So Tabella Matcha, Mother Kombucha, the Meyer Lemon, Agua Bucha, so it's sparkling with like some agave in it, and it was fantastic. Yeah. That's what got me kind of thinking about that. And Tanya and I were talking about the other day. I was like, I don't know, would it work?
I would sign up.
We would need to test.
I'd be with that.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay, last rapid fire question for you.
Okay.
One piece of advice for those entering the CPG industry.
One piece of advice, be naive. Because you don't need to know everything, because a lot of times if you know everything, you're not going to do it. It's going to stress you out. You're going to say like, oh my gosh, this brand is doing this, or this brand, I could never compete with that, or whatever. So just be naive. Obviously do your due diligence, right? And know what you're getting into. But like, you don't need to know everything on day one, and you just go for it. Yeah.
I knew this would be so fun with you.
Yeah. I know. Can we do it again?
Yeah, right? Yeah, let's run it back.
Yeah.
I'm so down.
Yeah. And it's our first.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's fun. Yeah, I love that.
Taylor, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Thank
this
you for
is
answering
great.
all of our questions,
yes.
scripted and unscripted.
Yeah, this is awesome.
I'm excited to try whatever the new flavors are coming up too, and you'll share those with us.
I will. I'll do a drop. Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. Thank you guys for watching. Tune in to our next episode. Also subscribe to our channel and our newsletter if you haven't already. There's some really good stuff.
Can confirm.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a fan favorite.
Yep.
See you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.